Hi there, this is Carrie from Stamp with CT. Welcome on in, everyone. If you're catching this part of the video, it's probably the replay, so welcome on in, replay crew. I appreciate you being here. And then I'm hoping that I'll have a couple friends that will be able to join me live as well. So this is Carrie, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Texas. Have a YouTube channel, have Facebook business page and community group. I'm Stamp with CT. Super glad to have you here with me today. I have a fun sneak peek from the upcoming holiday catalog, or you may also know it as the September through December mini catalog. I've got a really pretty card, I think, to share with you today with a fun little technique. So I'm excited to get started to craft with you. Please say hi as you're coming on in. I appreciate that. And although I can't see your comments while I'm crafting with you, I do go back and read them, respond to them. So I appreciate you being here and commenting as well. I have a lot of people that watch the replay, and I love that some people are able to join live and some are able to watch the replay. So welcome on in. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. It's like 83 degrees here in Texas. It is August the 20th, but you wouldn't be able to tell that from going outside. Not complaining at all. I think we're supposed to get some rain today too. But it's beautiful. A little bit of a breeze. So let me know how the weather is where you're from. We have just really been fortunate that it's so nice. I have with me, he's actually out in the yard, I think, Oliver the crafty pup. Dale is homesick, and so Oliver has been going back and forth between the bedroom and the craft room to make sure that both of us are minding. He's been really busy today, so he's not in here with me right now. Who knows? He may make an appearance, but I'm glad you're here. So this is our new, it's a beautiful new catalog that will be coming out to customers in September, first part of September. If you have made a purchase with me in the last 6 months, then you're already on my list to receive a catalog. If not, and you don't have a demonstrator that you order from, work with, I would be happy to send you a complimentary catalog. All you have to do is just message me and I will definitely add you to my list. I'd love to do that. Beautiful products in here. Last week I did a little bit of an unboxing. I cut my thumb 10 days ago now, and so I do still have the sutures, but they come out tomorrow. Somehow I scraped this other hand, so I'm all bummed up, but I can actually craft today with you. Just let me know if you want a catalog. Let me get this out of the way. We would love to send you one, and I have some in stock. So this is the card that I'm going to share with you today, how to create this. It's a pretty simple, straightforward card, but I just think it gives a really big impact, and I absolutely love including the dove with the olive branch. Just think that's so beautiful. Love this sentiment and the font. And let me just introduce you to some of the products that I used to create this card. Now, you'll notice there's no DSP on this card. It's just strictly the Secret Sea and Cloud Cover cardstock, but you could certainly add DSP if you wanted to. There's a lovely embossing folder in this suite of products, so let me show you some of the items. So not using this today, but there's a really pretty ribbon, blue with silver edging. It is absolutely stunning, y'all. Really pretty. We have had some ribbon like with this edging in the past that I think it just really adds some sparkle and shine to your projects. It's a little bit textured, and with that edging, it's not the easiest ribbon to tie a bow with, but I think it's worth the effort because I think that looks just really pretty. So very pretty ribbon that goes in this suite. These beautiful little flowers, shades of blue, are the embellishments. I'm not using them today either, but they're very pretty with the different shades and then the different sizes of the flowers too. So that's a nice little element. here is the stamp die bundle. And by the way, this suite is called Peaceful Garden. I've actually had this in my hands since, I want to say May, was when Cheryl, my assistant and team member and super awesome friend, Cheryl and I did an event with Stampin' Up! Called Creativity Now. So we were able to order these products way in advance and get a sneak peek of how to use them and get some ideas. So I am really excited about this suite because it's just so beautiful. So you do have the stamp set with all these sentiments. Now it does have a couple that are more holiday themed, but you've also got one that would work for sympathy, encouragement. So it's just a really nice sentiment stamp set with beautiful font. I love the font work on this. Then you have dies that coordinate. You have a couple of different doves, and they are just stunning. You've got a couple of labels and also some foliage, the little olive branch. You've got this little odd guy. Let me bring it over here. Uh-oh. I may have lost what it cuts out. Let me see if I can track them down. I don't see them. They cut out little envelopes, and I did go ahead and cut a couple out, and I had them set aside, and now I don't know where they went. Oh, I think I found one. So it cuts two little envelopes out at the same time, but it's a funny looking little die. Took us a minute to figure out, what it did, but once we ran it through the die cut machine, it was very clear what it did. So the little dove can either hold the olive branch or this envelope in its little beak, so that's pretty cool. So that's a really cool die that's part of this die set. And what's awesome is you also have this embossing folder. Let me look at the name, Peaceful Greenery. Now you can probably tell better on this picture that it has this area that's open. These dies actually layer inside that, so you'll see on the paper how that works. It's really pretty. So you've got a little bit of a border from where we did the embossing, and then you've got the larger and the smaller label. So just so pretty. This embossing folder is stunning. All right, let me set that aside. Let's bring in some paper. And although we're not using this today, there is some really pretty glimmer paper. And so, well, I'm just dropping things. So you do have that, which that's always a fun accent to add to our projects. You can tell I've already carved into the Secret Sea glimmer paper. I won't keep that on there long because I know it's so shiny it messes up the focus. And then I do have some of the paper in 12 by 12, but some we've already cut down a good bit. This is the product that we're featuring in our team meeting make and take this month as well. So we have cut down a lot of this paper. Isn't that gorgeous? But I've still got pretty good sized pieces to share with you. Now let's look at the B side. Beautiful, stunning, like a watercolor wash. Just so pretty, again, to use up those scraps to add a little bit of interest, a little bit more depth, dimension. Just really pretty paper. Those different shades of blue. Alrighty, so let's work on recreating this card. I do have some pieces that I've already cut, and I do have a Secret Sea card base. It is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Now, one of the reasons I wanted to share this with you is because this is a beautiful suite. I'm working on using new products right now to create swaps. So that's kind of been my focus, having some new product out and working with that, which is always so much fun. We'll go ahead and glue in our inside panel. But there is also an in color product sale going on right now from Stampin' Up. and you can save 15% on products that contain the new in colors, such as Secret Sea and Cloud Cover, which are featured predominantly in this paper. And they're beautiful. They work so well together. So just thought I would kind of highlight how well they work together in case you're looking to pick up some in color products during the sale. Okay, I'm going to bring in my silicone craft sheet. I have already used the embossing folder on this piece of Cloud Cover. And I actually have the Secret Sea, bring in the stamp. I have the Secret Sea ink pad, but then we also made an ink spot with Secret Sea for, I think, the launch party of the annual catalog back in May, because I needed a couple of ink pads for the different tables. I'm really enjoying using these spots from time to time. It just, for this especially, you're going to see it works very well. Now, we also have a Cloud Cover ink spot, and the reason we have it is because there was a little bit of a chemical reaction between the actual pad and the ink with Cloud Cover. So Stampin' Up! Released the ink refill, but not actually an ink pad to customers. So this was kind of our workaround. We made an ink spot also in the launch party so that everyone would have the Cloud Cover ink, because it is beautiful. But Stampin' Up! Is really true to quality, and it just did not meet their standards, so they're not releasing it that way. But we have a workaround, which is nice. So because this is raised up and there's texture from the embossing folder, I want to take this little spot and I'm just going to swipe it across, or this can also be called swinking, where you're inking and swiping at the same time, hence the swinking. And so this is just picking up some of the ink and really bringing out that background. And it doesn't matter if I got it in the middle a little bit, because I'm going to be layering this over it. So that's going to cover that up. And I may not have gotten this lined up exactly even in my embossing folder when I did it, but it'll be okay. So let's go ahead and put the Secret Sea, the larger label, in the center. And there is a little ridge that you can see around it. I love that little detail. I think this card, even though you're using cardstock and it's straightforward and it's a pretty simple card to make, the details of it are what make it so striking. And our color combination. Okay, so then we can go ahead and get this out of the way. And I'll go ahead and bring in my piercing mat, because we're going to do some stamping and a little bit more inking. Alrighty, now we need the big ink pad, because we're going to stamp our Peace on Earth greeting. And again, these products are not available to customers now, but they will be starting the 3rd of September. It's a pretty good size stamp, so I'm kind of moving around the pad, making sure I get it inked up really well. Looks pretty good. And we'll get it lined up. See if I can do this with my lighting up above and everything. Press that down. And if you haven't heard, while I'm using this photopolymer stamp, it reminds me that Stampin' Up! Is going to be phasing out the red rubber stamps, the cling mount stamps, for a couple reasons. They've had some issues sourcing some of the materials, and Also, because of the way that photopolymer has improved, they're going to be able to do like the distinctive stamps with photopolymer and everything. So, oops, had a little bit off cut. So they're going to be phasing those out. So you'll see in the coming months, and we can talk about that a little bit more later. They're also retiring Stampin' Right markers. So if those are a product that you love, you may want to hop over to the online store and pick up anything that you need to complete your set. Go ahead and add that label. Isn't that pretty the way that that layers up? I really like that. I'm going to set that aside for a minute. We're going to work on our dove for just a minute. Get our cloud cover ink. And then I also want to grab my Wink of Stella. So I just thought this would be pretty to add a little sparkle to my dove. I'm just kind of brushing that across the whole dove. And I think that the doves are one of the prettiest parts of this suite. I love the die cuts. I love that you can put the olive branch or the envelope in its little beak. And I just love that the dove, you know, represents hope and new beginnings, creation, the presence of God. Just very special. Such an iconic image of the holidays too. So now we're going to take some cloud cover and a sponge dauber. So a couple little inking techniques this week, huh? And I'm just going to brush across the edges of the wings. I don't want to add a lot of color. Just a little bit to give it a little bit more dimension. I think it helps to also kind of ruffle up the little feathers a little bit. I like that effect too. But I think between the inking and then also the Wink of Stella, it takes that dove even a step further. So pretty. All right, guys, I think we're ready to assemble. I'm also kind of took my finger and ruffled up those feathers a bit. Totally up to you if you like that effect. I thought it was pretty. And I kind of brought the wings forward. Now I know once I put it in the envelope, it won't necessarily stay like that, but we can hope. We can hope that the post office won't completely crush our pretty Christmas card. A little bit more glue since we've got that embossed layer. A little more glue than normal. And I think that I cut this piece at 4 3/4 by 3 1/2, just to give it a little bit more of a border all the way around. I'm trying to get it straight and lined up, but you know, you could go a little bit at an angle too if you wanted to. We'll see. I always straighten them up after the video if it's just completely wonky. And then we're going to add our dove over here. And I do have just a couple of mini dimensionals that I'm going to add to his little body. Let me see if I can get that off with my Take Your Pick tool. Those minis are a little bit more challenging to get the backing off, but we did it. Then we'll place our dove. And I did like it to be up just a little bit towards the edge of the card. I had to reposition my other dove a couple of times because I had his little wings too far off. He has to stay within the border of the card. All right, then I do have, oops, the little olive branch. And this is kind of delicate to add, but we'll get it done. I've just got that on a glue dot. And you kind of have to futz with it a little bit to get it where you want it. That's probably way too far down. I just take a glue dot, kind of roll it up, so I know it'll stay on. And like I said, you just have to kind of work with it so that you're not completely covering up your little dove. Okay, so we're almost finished. And although I love those beautiful embellishments, I thought I would pull in the holographic gems to add a little bit of sparkle. Just putting that kind of in that little notch there. Move over just a tiny bit, guy. Just a little bit of sparkle. And those holographic gems come in a couple different sizes, and they really pick up the color around them. That's what I love about them. So there you have it. There is our easy Christmas card that I think really packs a wow. Y'all let me know what you think. Love the doves. I think they're just so gorgeous. And just an easy way to make a pretty Christmas card. And it is time to start thinking about that, you guys. Especially if you send a lot of cards, then it makes it easier on you if you go ahead and get started and make a few at a time. Let me know too. Do you make a bunch of the same card? Or do you mix it up and make a lot of different cards that you send out at the holidays? I would love to know. Okay, let's move this over a little bit. And I'll bring in some happy mail that I received. We've got several pieces to show this today. This first one is a little pocket card, and I absolutely love this design. This came from a sweet little boy who just turned 8 named Logan, LaDonna's grandson. So cute. I love that he wrote the note. It just melted my heart. But I love this little card, and I texted LaDonna and told her that I got it. And I said, I kind of have a suspicion that you had something to do with this. And she said, yes, she did. So isn't that a cute card that LaDonna made? I remember this paper and this little tag and everything. So fun. So thank you, Logan. And I will put a photo of these Happy Mail cards that we got. I'm doing a Mailbox Monday where you can get a little bit closer look at these cards that I received. And then this next card came from my amazingly talented friend, Debbie. And it is just stunning. Talk about detail, attention to detail. I know you'll recognize that image. So, so pretty. But this is actually cut from the cardstock. Just, I love it. The color combo and just all the different details. Such a sweet card. Thank you, Debbie. And again, you'll get to see it a little closer on Monday. Now, this card is also from Debbie, and it was a birthday card for Dale. Absolutely love this layout. Love the fact that you can use up your scraps. Now, she did tell me when she gave me this card for Dale that she learned this layout from our friend Jan. Debbie currently does the class at the Senior Activity Center here in town, and she just recently took the reins of that from Jan. Jan and Mary had done the class there for many years, and so Debbie is doing that now with the help of Becca. But it's so fun that she learned this from Jan and gave this card to Dale, and I am definitely going to be casing this card coming up in the near future. I think it's really, really cute. Great way to use up scraps. This is a fabulous masculine card too, so such a fun layout. And then we have one more birthday card that Dale received, and again, such a fabulous layout for a masculine card. I love this. This is from Cheryl. So Dale's birthday and Oliver's birthday was last week. I know I told you guys that, but isn't this cute? And again, using up scraps, that nice big bold sentiment. She put a sentiment on the inside as well. So I love that she used the colored cardstock on the inside. Just a really, really pretty card. And a great use, I think, of our supplies, the way that Cheryl did that with the embossing, and it's just so pretty. So let me bring those back in so you can see those cards right quick, and I will post them on Monday for Mailbox Monday. Get you a little closer look. So if you send me a card, I like to feature it on the video on Wednesday and give you a little shout out and just kind of show off the amazing work that you do. So thank y'all very much for the happy mail for me and for Dale. And I think that's it for today. I'll see you back next Wednesday. And not sure exactly yet what we'll be doing, but it'll be something fun and creative. So talk to you soon.